sky was painted a fiery orange as smoke billowed on the horizon. But what Donald Trump noticed about the wildfires that day wasn't just the flames. It was something much darker, something no one else dared to acknowledge. As the media scrambled to cover the devastation, Trump sat in his private office staring at a classified report that sent a chill down his spine. "Do they have any idea what's really happening?" he murmured to himself, his fingers tapping nervously on the desk. The report suggested something sinister, an orchestrated force behind the chaos, one that had been cleverly disguised as a natural disaster. His instincts told him this wasn't just about wildfires, it was about control, power, and a truth that could shatter the narrative the world believed. Trump leaned back in his chair, his mind racing. The evidence was thin but compelling. Satellite data showed patterns too precise to be coincidental. Entire forests burned in perfect lines, skipping over isolated areas that should have been consumed. On the surface, it looked like climate change was to blame, but as Trump delved deeper, he realized someone, or something, was pulling the strings, using the environment as a weapon. He picked up the phone, his voice steady but tense. "Get my team on this, quietly. I don't want the media catching wind of it yet, and find out if there's a connection to the energy companies. This goes deeper than anyone realizes." The line crackled as his aide responded, "Understood, sir. But if this gets out..." Trump cut him off, his tone sharper now. "If it gets out, we risk panic. Handle it." Outside his window, the world carried on as if nothing was wrong, but Donald Trump knew better. He had seen too many power plays in his lifetime to ignore the signs. Somewhere, someone was betting on the world's ignorance, and Trump wasn't about to let them win. The late-night meeting room was dimly lit, with only the glow of a digital map casting shadows on the faces of Trump's closest advisors. They analyzed every detail: the wildfire zones, energy grid interruptions, and unexplained anomalies. Trump paced the room, his frustration evident. "Look at this," he said, pointing at the screen. "These fires aren't random. They're strategic. They're targeting areas with critical infrastructure: power plants, communication lines, and major supply routes. This isn't just a wildfire problem. It's an attack." His chief strategist hesitated before speaking. "But how do we prove it? If we go public without solid evidence, we'll be labeled conspiracy theorists." Trump's voice grew firm. "We don't go public yet. First, we confirm who's behind this. Then we expose them. But I want answers now. No excuses." The advisors exchanged uneasy glances. They knew time was running out. The fires were spreading rapidly, and the media was fueling panic with non-stop coverage about climate change and inaction from the government. But behind closed doors, Trump and his team saw a different story, one with global implications. A junior analyst broke the silence. "There's one thing that stands out, sir. The companies that are benefiting the most from these disasters, their stock prices have skyrocketed in the past week. They're profiting from destruction." Trump narrowed his eyes. "Names. I want a list of every executive, every board member, and every politician connected to those companies. Follow the money, and we'll find the culprits." As the meeting wrapped up, Trump turned to his team one last time. "This isn't just about putting out fires. This is about exposing a system that thrives on chaos. If we don't act now, we may never get another chance." The tension was palpable as the team dispersed, each person assigned a critical task. Trump, however, stayed behind, staring at the glowing map. He couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning of something far bigger and far more dangerous. The tension was palpable as the team dispersed, each person assigned a critical task. Trump, however, stayed behind, staring at the glowing map. He couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning of something far bigger and far more dangerous. And now, viewers, what do you think is really going on? Could there be forces manipulating these disasters for their own gain? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're as curious as we are to uncover the truth, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. The next twist might just leave you speechless. The following morning, Trump was briefed on the initial findings. A list of names had surfaced. Powerful executives, hedge fund managers, and political figures who had suspiciously aligned interests. Most notably, they all seemed tied to a single corporation, Horizon Global Industries, a multinational conglomerate specializing in energy and defense. Trump clenched his jaw as he reviewed the data. Horizon's CEO, Victor Langford, was a name he recognized, a man known for his smooth charisma, but whispered to be ruthless behind the scenes. The deeper they dug, the more connections they uncovered. Secret meetings, backroom deals, and substantial investments in technologies linked to wildfire containment and reconstruction. Trump called his chief of staff. "Get me everything you can on Langford. I want to know where he's been, who he's met, and what he's hiding." Meanwhile, reports from the field confirmed what Trump suspected. Certain fire zones exhibited patterns inconsistent with natural wildfires. Burn marks suggested an unnatural intensity, almost as if the flames were being accelerated. And then there were the eyewitness accounts. Residents claiming to have seen drones hovering before the fires erupted. As more pieces of the puzzle fell into place, the team faced a chilling reality. These weren't wildfires. They were calculated acts of sabotage designed to cripple critical infrastructure and enrich those who stood to profit. Trump's strategist spoke up. "If we reveal this too soon, Langford and his allies will bury the evidence before we can hold them accountable. We need proof that's undeniable." Trump nodded. "Then we'll catch them red-handed. I'll need a team that's not afraid to get their hands dirty." And here's where it gets even more intriguing, viewers. What would you do if you discovered someone was profiting from destruction? The stakes are getting higher, and the truth is getting closer. Don't miss what happens next. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned as we uncover the shocking twists in this story. The room was filled with tension as Trump and his trusted team huddled together to formulate a plan. They knew time was against them. Langford and his allies wouldn't wait forever to cover their tracks. "We need to infiltrate their operations," Trump stated firmly. "Find their next move, gather undeniable evidence, and expose it to the world." Sarah, a sharp intelligence officer, stepped forward. "Our sources indicate that Horizon is planning a large-scale operation in California. A series of training exercises are scheduled near areas prone to wildfires. If they're behind this, that's where we'll catch them." Trump's mind raced. "Good. But we need someone on the inside, someone they wouldn't suspect." Sarah hesitated before replying. "We have a lead, a whistleblower within Horizon who's been feeding us small pieces of intel. If we can gain their full trust, they might help us blow this wide open." The team quickly mobilized. A small, covert unit was assembled, and Sarah took charge of contacting the whistleblower. They arranged a secret meeting at a remote location, a quiet diner off the beaten path. Trump, ever hands-on, decided to be there himself. The whistleblower, a young engineer named Ethan, sat nervously across from Trump and Sarah. His eyes darted around the room, scanning for any signs of danger. "I don't have much time," Ethan whispered. "If they find out I'm talking to you, I'm as good as dead." Trump leaned in, his voice steady but commanding. "You're doing the right thing, Ethan. We'll protect you, but we need everything you know, now." Ethan slid a small USB drive across the table. "This has blueprints, schedules, and communications. It's not everything, but it's enough to prove they're orchestrating the fires." As Sarah pocketed the drive, Ethan added, "There's one more thing. Langford is hosting a private event tomorrow night, a fundraiser. It's a cover. They're finalizing the plans there." Trump nodded. "We'll be ready." "Before we move on, let me ask you, what would you do in Ethan's shoes? Betray a powerful corporation, knowing the risks, or stay silent? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for the next explosive part of this story. You won't want to miss it. The following night, Trump's team moved into action. Langford's lavish fundraiser was hosted in a sprawling estate surrounded by layers of security. Undercover agents posed as staff and guests, with Trump monitoring everything from a hidden surveillance van stationed nearby. Sarah, dressed in an elegant gown, blended seamlessly into the crowd. With an earpiece connecting her to the team, She navigated the event with precision. "I've located Langford," she whispered. "He's in the main hall surrounded by his inner circle." Trump's voice crackled through the earpiece. "Stick close, but don't draw attention. We need hard evidence, something concrete." Sarah scanned the room, her gaze landing on a secured door guarded by two imposing men. "I think I found something. There's a restricted area at the back, probably where they're keeping sensitive documents." "Find a way in," Trump ordered. Meanwhile, Langford was addressing his guests. His tone was smooth, his words carefully chosen to mask his true intentions. "Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're here to support innovation and progress. Together we can overcome the challenges of tomorrow." Sarah smirked as she overheard him. "Innovation and progress, my foot," she muttered under her breath. With quick thinking, she spilled a drink on a guest near the guards, creating a brief commotion. In the distraction, she slipped through the door unnoticed. Inside, the atmosphere was entirely different. The room was filled with computer servers, maps, and documents detailing their plans. Sarah's heart raced as she snapped pictures and downloaded files onto a portable drive. Suddenly, footsteps echoed in the hallway. Langford's voice boomed. "I don't trust this crowd tonight. Double the patrols." Trump's voice came through her earpiece. "Sarah, get out, now." Sarah exited the room, blending back into the crowd as if nothing had happened. She approached the buffet table to avoid suspicion, but her heart sank when she saw Langford scanning the room. His sharp eyes seemed to linger on her for a moment. "Keep calm," Trump instructed. "You've done your part. Now leave with the files." Back in the van, the team began reviewing the stolen data. Sarah handed Trump the drive, her expression a mix of relief and triumph. "We've got it. Everything we need to expose them." Trump nodded. "Good work, but we're not done yet. This is the calm before the storm." The tension was palpable as the team pieced together the evidence. Langford's plans were worse than they imagined, a coordinated operation to manipulate wildfires, disrupt communities, and control key resources. Just as the team started to strategize their next move, an alert blared from the surveillance system. Langford's security had discovered the breach. "They're on to us," Sarah said urgently. "We need to move. Before we continue, let me ask you this. Would you risk everything to expose the truth? Let us know your thoughts, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next thrilling chapter of this unfolding story." Trump's team quickly scrambled to relocate. The van roared to life, weaving through the dark, winding roads away from Langford's estate. Tension filled the air as they worked to stay one step ahead of Langford's security detail, who were now in pursuit. Inside the van, Trump sat at the center of the team, his focus razor sharp. "We've got what we need, but we need to go public fast. If Langford realizes what we've uncovered, he'll try to bury it." Sarah tapped furiously on her laptop, decoding the files they'd stolen. "There's enough here to not only expose Langford but also connect him to a network of others manipulating disasters for profit." Trump's eyes narrowed. "This is bigger than we thought." As the van sped down a quiet highway, Sarah suddenly exclaimed, "Wait, this data isn't just about wildfires. Look at this." She pulled up a heat map that showed planned disruptions across the country: floods, droughts, even unexplained power outages in key cities. Langford's group is orchestrating chaos to force dependency on their resources and technology. Trump's jaw tightened. This isn't just greed, this is control. Suddenly, headlights appeared in the rearview mirror. Langford's security convoy was closing in. The driver's voice was tense. "We've got company." Trump remained calm. "They won't risk exposure with a public chase. We need to disappear. Find the back roads." The driver nodded, veering off the main highway and plunging the van into a maze of side streets. The team held their breath as the headlights behind them grew fainter. "Did we lose them?" Sarah asked, her voice a whisper. "Not yet," Trump replied. "Keep decoding that data. We need a plan." Minutes later, the van rolled into a deserted parking lot. The team hastily transferred their equipment into smaller, unmarked vehicles. Trump took a moment to address them. We need to act fast. Langford's network is massive, and if we don't reveal the truth before they regroup, they'll silence us. Sarah nodded. I'll work on disseminating the evidence. We can leak it to trusted journalists and secure platforms. Trump added, and I'll make a statement. If we strike hard and fast, we'll catch Langford off guard. Just as the team finalized their plans, a low rumble filled the air. A helicopter's spotlight suddenly illuminated the lot. Langford's men had tracked them. Move, Trump commanded. The team scattered into their vehicles as the helicopter hovered above, its searchlight sweeping across the lot. Tires screeched as they sped away in different directions, hoping to confuse their pursuers. As the chaos unfolded, Trump's voice came through the team's communication channel. Remember why we're doing this. It's not just about stopping Langford, it's about protecting the people he's exploiting. We'll expose him no matter what it takes. Before we dive into the next twist, let me ask you, what would you do if you uncovered a conspiracy this big? Comment below, and if you're hooked, like and subscribe to see how this battle unfolds. Stay tuned for the next gripping chapter. The night grew darker as Trump's team navigated the winding roads, evading Langford's men. Trump's car took the lead, guiding the others toward a safe house deep in the woods. The location was secure, known only to a handful of trusted allies. Stay sharp, Trump said through the communication channel. They'll expect us to head to major cities. This place is off their radar for now. Inside the safe house, the atmosphere was tense but determined. Sarah quickly set up her equipment on a makeshift desk, plugging in hard drives and uploading the damning evidence they'd retrieved. Screens glowed with maps, files, and spreadsheets, each piece connecting Langford's company to deliberate environmental destruction. We've got enough to bring this operation to its knees, Sarah said, her voice laced with urgency. But we need to move fast. Langford's reach is vast. He'll be trying to suppress any leaks. Trump leaned over the screen, scanning the data. We're not just leaking it. We're going to broadcast it live. The team looked at him in shock. Live? One of them asked. That's risky. Langford's people will trace it back here. Trump's gaze was steely. Good. Let them come. This isn't just about exposing Langford. It's about showing the world that power and greed can't go unchecked. As Sarah worked on setting up the live broadcast, the rest of the team prepared for a potential assault. Barricades were reinforced, security cameras were monitored, and contingency plans were laid out. Langford won't let this go quietly, one team member warned. If we go live, we'll have a target on our backs. Trump smirked. We've had that target since the moment we stepped into this fight. Let's make it count. The clock ticked down as the broadcast began to take shape. Sarah patched together a secure channel, routing the feed through multiple servers to make it harder to trace. Trump rehearsed his statement, his words precise and powerful. This isn't just about wildfires, he said, pacing the room. It's about the lives lost, the homes destroyed, and the truth that's been buried for far too long. People deserve to know who's behind this chaos. Just as the team was about to go live, an alert blared on their monitors. Motion detected, vehicles approaching the safe house. Langford's men had found them. They're here, someone shouted. Trump didn't flinch. Good. Let them hear the truth firsthand. The team scrambled into action. Some fortified the doors and windows while others prepared to defend the perimeter. Sarah stayed glued to her workstation, her fingers flying across the keyboard as the countdown to the live broadcast began. 30 seconds, she announced. Trump stood in front of the camera, calm and resolute despite the chaos outside. Let's show the world what they're trying to hide. Before we dive into what happens next, let me ask you this. If you were in Trump's position, would you stand your ground or flee for safety? Comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to follow this intense story to its jaw-dropping conclusion. Stay tuned for the final chapters. The countdown hit 0, and the live broadcast began. Across the globe, screens lit up with Trump's face, standing tall and defiant in the dimly lit safe house. The chaos outside, the rumbling vehicles and distant shouts, added an unmistakable tension to the scene. "This is Donald J. Trump," he began, his voice steady yet commanding. "And what I'm about to reveal will shock you. For too long we've been lied to, deceived by those who value profit over humanity, who see our planet not as a home but as a resource to exploit." The broadcast transitioned to Sarah's screen, where maps and documents filled the frame. "These wildfires, the devastation, the lives lost, it's no accident," Trump continued. "It's the work of a corporation led by none other than Harold Langford. They've weaponized nature itself, manipulating the environment for their gain." As the evidence poured out live, charts of altered weather patterns, leaked communications, and photos of clandestine operations, the viewership skyrocketed. News networks picked up the feed, unable to ignore the breaking story. Social media exploded with hashtags like "IRA exposing Langford" and "Auris Trump speaks truth." Outside the safe house, Langford's men closed in, their vehicles surrounding the property. The team's defensive measures held strong for now, but the tension was palpable. "They're trying to cut the broadcast," Sarah announced, "but our encryption is holding. They can't shut us down easily." Trump looked straight into the camera, his expression fierce. "To the people watching this, you deserve better. You deserve leaders who protect, not destroy. And to those responsible for this chaos, let this be a warning. We won't back down." Suddenly, the broadcast was interrupted by loud bangs at the door. Langford's men were attempting to break in. The team sprang into action, securing barricades and preparing for the worst. "Keep the feed going no matter what," Trump ordered. "The truth has to get out." The camera feed flickered, but stayed live. As Trump's team fought to defend the safe house, the world watched in real time, captivated by the unfolding drama. Viewers could hear the chaos, the pounding on the doors, the shouts of Langford's men, and the tension in every voice inside. One viewer commented, "This feels like a movie, but it's real life. Trump's risking everything to tell us the truth." As Langford's men breached the first barricade, Trump stepped back to the camera one last time. "This isn't the end. It's only the beginning. Together we can fight back. Share this video, spread the truth, and hold those in power accountable." The screen cut to the team's evidence one final time before the feed abruptly ended. The silence that followed was deafening. Viewers across the world were left with one question: what happened next? Did Trump and his team make it out? And would justice prevail against Langford and his corporation? What do you think happened? Comment your thoughts below. And if you believe in standing up for the truth, don't forget to like and subscribe. Together, we can keep this fight alive. The safe house was eerily silent now, the distant sound of helicopters fading into the night. Hours had passed since the broadcast cut off abruptly, leaving billions of viewers worldwide in suspense. Social media was ablaze, with hashtags like #TrumpTruth and #SaveTheWorld trending globally. People speculated, argued, and demanded answers. In a darkened room, Langford sat in his luxurious office, watching the chaos unfold on multiple screens. His smug expression betrayed his confidence. Let them scream all they want. Without evidence, their words mean nothing, he sneered, sipping from a glass of expensive whiskey. But Langford's confidence was short-lived. As dawn broke, a wave of action swept across the world. Governments were forced to respond to the overwhelming public outcry. Protesters took to the streets, demanding investigations into Langford's corporation and their role in the wildfires. Whistleblowers, emboldened by Trump's bravery, began stepping forward with even more damning evidence. And then, an unexpected twist shook Langford's empire. A mysterious email leaked to major news outlets contained everything: financial transactions, blueprints of weather-altering technology, and even personal communications that proved Langford's guilt. The source? It was signed with a simple name. S.R. Sarah had managed to upload the files just before the safe house was breached. The world now had all the proof it needed. Langford's men scrambled to contain the fallout, but it was too late. Arrest warrants were issued, his assets were frozen, and his public image was irreparably tarnished. Meanwhile, speculation about Trump and his team's fate reached a fever pitch. Had they escaped? Were they captured? Or worse? Just when the world seemed ready to accept the worst, a new video surfaced online. The video showed Trump standing in an undisclosed location surrounded by his team. He looked exhausted, but resolute. To everyone who stood with us, who shared the truth, and who fought back, I thank you. We've won the first battle, but the war isn't over. Langford's downfall is only the beginning. He then revealed the next steps, creating a global coalition to ensure no corporation or individual could ever manipulate nature again. This planet belongs to all of us, Trump declared, and we must protect it together. The video ended with Trump extending a hand toward the camera. Join us, share this message, and remember, truth always prevails. The internet erupted. Trump's words became a rallying cry, uniting people across political and ideological divides. Langford was later arrested while attempting to flee the country. His trial became one of the most watched events in history, serving as a reminder that no one is above the law. As for Trump and his team, they continued their mission, becoming a symbol of resilience and truth. Their actions sparked global reform, proving that even in the face of overwhelming odds, change is possible. And now, it's your turn. What would you do to stand up for the truth? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on stories that matter. Together, we can make a difference.